Hello friends, this is Dr. Shashi Agarwal. I welcome you all. If you have not subscribed, then subscribe Shashi Agarwal as well as the Shashi Agarwal Economics and Law classes, which will be providing you the classes in Hindi. Today our subject is microeconomics. Under microeconomics, we are going to cover the theory of cost. Theory of cost we will be covering in three parts. In the first part, we will understand various concepts of the cost, various types of the cost, and the traditional approach and the short run cost. And then we will also elaborate why average cost curve is U-shaped and what is the relationship between the various costs. In the second video, we are going to cover a very significant topic, that is the relationship between the marginal cost and the average cost. In the third video, we are going to cover the long run cost curve. First of all, we will understand every producer. We always assume the producer is rational. He wants to maximize his output, maximize his profit at the minimum cost. So cost of production is a function of output. The relation between the cost and output is called the cost function or cost analysis, because how much we are producing, the cost is related to the how much we are producing. If we are producing more, then there will be more cost. If we are producing less, there will be less cost. So cost is a function of output. Cost of production of a commodity means the payment which is made to the factors of production for producing that commodities. And we could analyze the cost in two parts, traditional approach and the modern approach. In this video, we are going to cover the traditional approach. Now we are going to cover the concepts relating to cost, or we could say cost classification or types of the cost. Money cost, the money cost of producing a certain output of a commodity. It means we are making the payment to the factors of production in terms of money who are engaged in the production of that commodities. The money cost could be paid in the following way, like we have purchased the raw material. What is the cost of raw material? What is the interest, rent, wages, selling cost, etc., which is paid in terms of money, transportation cost, packing charges, insurance charges, etc. Elements of total cost. Explicit cost is also called out-of-pocket cost. This is a very explicit cost, implicit cost, opportunity cost. These are the questions which are asked in the short type questions. So these are very important topics for short questions. Explicit cost is also called the out-of-pocket cost. All these expenses that firm incur to make payment to other are called explicit cost. Explicit cost is out-of-pocket cost, the expense which we incur. Explicit cost are those cash payment which firm make to outsider for their services. When we are making payment to outsiders in the form of cash for their services and goods, that cost is known as explicit cost, like wages paid to the laborer, rent paid to the landlord, interest paid to the loan which we have taken from the bank or the lender. Implicit cost is the self-supplied cost of self-supplied factors. Like I want to run a business, I have my own building, I am using that building. So for calculating the true cost of production, I have to take the notional cost of rent. That is because notional cost of the building which I am using my own building for the purpose of business. Implicit cost of the self-supplied factors are the cost of entrepreneur's own factor or sources, like the owner is introducing his own money into the business, owner introducing his own building. So here we have to calculate the notional cost. Implicit cost are the cost of self-owned and self-employed sources. Like implicit cost refer to interest on entrepreneur's own capital. Entrepreneur is introducing his own money into the business, introducing his own land. and what is the wages of his own labor. So implicit cost is the cost of self-supplied factors. The cost is not paid to anyone. Here the notional cost is calculated. So we should know the true cost of production. So the total cost will be equal to the explicit cost plus the implicit cost. Money cost is the explicit cost, are those cash payment which firm makes to outsiders for their services and goods. Implicit cost means the cost of self-owned and self-employed resources. Total cost is equal to the explicit cost plus the implicit cost. And this is also very important for short questions. Opportunity cost, the cost of next best alternative foregone. For example, presently I am working at a job which gives me 50,000. Definitely if I want to shift to some other job, the minimum income I should get, the minimum salary I should get rupees 50,000. So that is the opportunity cost. According to this concept in economy, supply of economic resources is limited relative to their demand. As such, when resources are used for producing a given commodity, then some amount of other commodity in whose production these resources could have been helpful has to be sacrificed. Every variable factor must be paid. What it receives is the next best alternative. Like I earlier said, I'm having 50,000. So when I shift to other job, then I must get 50,000. Like if I am having 1 hectare of land, so I could produce wheat or gram. If I take the decision of cultivating wheat, by I will sacrificing the production of gram. It means by cultivating the gram, I could have earned rupees 1,000. So that is the opportunity cost of producing the wheat. The opportunity cost of producing 1 unit of X commodity is the amount of Y commodity that I have sacrificed. So what is the real cost? Refer to those payments which are made to factors of production to compensate for the total sacrifice and efforts in rendering their services. The concept of real cost, however, does not carry any significance in the cost of production because it is a subjective concept and lacks accuracy. Real cost is computed in terms of the pain and discomfort involved for labor when it is engaged for production. Like I am recording this video and I'm sitting under hot because the AC is also off and the fan is also off. So this is the real cost. How much pain I am bearing to record this video. Real cost is computed in terms of the pain and discomfort. Like when we are working there, when the labor is working, definitely when a construction worker is working in the daytime under the summer season, the pain and discomfort involved for a labor when it is engaged in production, and also the abstinence and sacrifice involved in capital accumulation. That is the real cost. When we calculate the total cost, we do not give any consideration to the real cost because it's a subjective concept. Cost function. Now we have understood various concepts of the cost. Cost function expresses the relationship between cost and its determinant. The firm's production function and the price it pays for the inputs determine the firm's cost function. Cost function pertains to short run and the long run. Short run is that period in which one of the firm's input are fixed and some are variable. If we want to increase the output, we have to change the variable factor. We cannot increase the fixed factors. In the long run, all the inputs, they are variable. Cost function expresses the relationship between the cost and its determinant. C is equal to cost and it depends upon the size of the plants, level of the output, price of inputs and technology. Size of the plant. Size of the plant means scales of the operation are inversely related to the cost. If we have bigger size of the plant, then we will have lesser cost. And the output level, total output and total cost are positively related to each other. Does not apply to average cost and marginal cost, as the level of output increases, marginal cost and average cost initially decreases and then they rise. Price of input positively related to the cost of output, because if the inputs which we are using, if they are highly priced, then the final outcome will be highly priced. State of technology also influence the cost. Managerial and administration efficiency also affect the cost. Now we are going to do a theory of cost, and we could study theory of cost under traditional approach and the modern approach. In this video I am going to focus on the traditional approach. First we are going to cover the short run cost. Short run cost means total cost which is equal to the total fixed cost and total variable cost, and then total variable cost when divided by the output is the average cost. Average cost is the total of the average fixed cost and average variable cost, and the marginal cost. Short run is that period in which at least one or some of the firm's input they are fixed and some are variable. In the long run, all the inputs they are variable. In the short run, total cost is equal to the total fixed cost plus total variable cost. Total cost is the sum of total fixed cost and variable cost. So the question arises, what is total fixed cost and supplementary cost? Total fixed cost is also known as a supplementary cost, indirect cost. This is the fixed cost which is not related with the output. The expenses incurred on fixed factors, they are called the fixed cost. These costs do not change with the changes in the quantity of output. Fixed costs include the following expenses. Even we are producing zero, still we have to incur the fixed cost, like the rent of the land. If we have taken the building on the rent, still we have to make the payment of rent whether we are producing something or not producing something. If we have borrowed money, if we are producing something or not producing something, still we have to make the payment of interest. So fixed cost is not related with the output. Rent of the land, salary of the permanent staff, interest on the fixed capital, license fees, insurance premium, normal profits, depreciation and maintenance. Here we are going to understand the concept of fixed cost graphically and via tabular. Like here we are producing output. As we see, as we go on increasing the output, the fixed cost remains fixed because it is not related with the output. Even the output is zero, still we have to incur some cost. So here we take the output and here we take the cost, and it is parallel to x-axis. Variable cost, that is also known as a prime cost or direct cost. The cost which is incurred on the variable factor is known as a variable cost or prime cost or direct cost. Variable costs are those costs which vary with the level of output. They are very much connected with the output. If the output is zero, they are also zero. The rate of increase of total variable cost is determined by the laws of return. These are also called the prime cost, direct cost or the special cost. Duly variable costs are those costs which vary as the level of output vary because they are directly related to the output. Variable costs include the expenses on raw material, fuel and power, the wages to the temporary labor, transportation cost. Here we see if the output is zero, then the variable cost is also zero. As we go on increasing the output, the variable cost is also goes on increasing. Initially total variable cost increase at falling rate. In the intermediate stage, these increase at a constant rate. Finally it increase at a increasing rate due to the various laws of return, which I will be explaining at later stage. In this manner we are going to draw this curve. Here we take the output and this is the total variable cost. It has upward sloping curve, signifies it is the variable cost is very much related with the output. As the output increases, variable cost also increase. Total variable cost is of inverse S shape. It reflects the law of variable proportion. because under short run we cannot change the fixed factor, so we have to increase the quantity of the variable factors. So initially when we increase the variable factor, then the production increases at an increasing rate, then at constant rate, then at a diminishing rate. So total cost is equal to total fixed cost plus total variable cost. So total cost is equal to total fixed cost, total variable cost. As we see from this table, as the output is 0, still we are having total cost to the tune of 10, which is equal to fixed cost, because the variable cost is related to the output. And here we see, as we are going to produce, the total cost goes on increasing. In this manner we are going to draw the graph. Here output, and this is the fixed cost, and the total cost will start from this, because at this, when we are producing nothing, still we are incurring some total cost which is equal to the fixed cost. So here this is the total cost and this is the and total variable cost. They should be parallel to each other. The difference between the fixed cost and variable cost is very important, because the fixed cost is not related with the output. Even we are not producing something, still we have to incur some fixed cost, but variable cost is very much related with the output. And the average fixed cost is equal to the total fixed cost divided by the output, and the average variable cost is equal to the total variable cost, which is divided by the outputs. The fixed cost is spent upon the fixed factors of production which cannot be changed, and the variable cost which we incur, that is on the variable factors which varies with the level of output. And the difference between the fixed cost and variable cost is very important, because it takes us the decision to whether to shut down or not, because if we close our business, still we have to incur the fixed cost. As long as our price is more than or equal to average variable cost, we are going to produce. If the price falls the average variable cost, then we are going to shut down our business. Fixed cost cannot be controlled. It is the variable cost which could be controlled. And by making the difference between the fixed cost and variable, we could understand at how many units, if we are producing how many, like this is the, it also identifies our the break-even point. So this is the fixed cost, and this is the total revenue, and this is the total cost. So here we are going to recover the total cost. After this, the profit is going to start. Average cost. Average cost of production is the total cost of production per unit of output. How we are going to calculate the average cost? Total cost divided by the output is known as the average cost. It is the cost of producing per unit of output. The average cost of production is the total cost per unit of output. Average cost is equal to the average fixed cost plus average variable cost. Average fixed cost, average fixed cost of production can also be obtained by total fixed cost divided by total output. And here, as we go on producing more units, the average fixed cost goes on reducing. Average fixed cost is the per unit cost of the fixed factors of production. Like here, this is the fixed cost, total fixed cost. When total fixed cost is divided by the output, then we are going to have the average fixed cost. Like initially, as we see, as we go on producing more unit, it goes on decreasing. Its shape is just like rectangular hyperbola. This is the shape of average fixed cost. So this is the shape of average fixed cost, which is of rectangular hyperbola. Perceives it is going to touch the x-axis, but it never touches x-axis. So what is the average variable cost? Is calculated total variable cost divided by the total output, that is the per unit of the average variable, per unit of the variable cost. Here in this table, like we are having the output, we are having the total variable cost. Here we are going to calculate the average variable cost. How we are going to calculate? Like 10 divided by 1, 18 divided by 2, 24 divided by 3, 28 divided by 4. In this manner we are going to calculate the average variable cost. From this table we could easily understand, as initially it falls, it reaches to the minimum level, then it start rising. So this is the shape of average variable cost. Average variable cost is this shaped, its shape is U-shaped. Initially it falls, like it falls, then it reaches the minimum point, then it starts rising. So this is the point of falling, this is the minimum point, and this is the rising portion. Now we have understood average fixed cost, average variable cost. So now we are going to understand what is average cost. So we have compiled the table, average fixed cost, average variable cost. When we are adding average variable cost and average fixed cost, then we are going to have the average cost. Average cost is also initially it falls. Here it becomes constant, reaches to the minimum point, then it start rising. Its shape is also U shape. Initially it falls, then it reaches the minimum point, then it starts rising. So this is the falling portion, this is the minimum, and this is the rising portion. Now we are going to understand, and this is a very significant topic, why the short run average cost curve is U-shaped. Initially it falls downward. Here I am going to draw so that you should understand. Here this is the average variable cost, reaches to the minimum point. This is the falling portion, this is the minimum portion, and this is the rising portion. Initially it falls downward, having reached at the minimum point, then it starts rising again. Why it falls? Because it is the interaction of the average fixed cost and average variable cost. Average cost is the aggregate of the average fixed cost and the average variable cost. As we have seen, initially both declines. Average fixed cost goes on declining. Average variable cost declines up to certain level. As the production increase, average fixed cost and average variable cost decrease. That is why average cost also decrease. After a point, average variable cost goes on rising. After reaching the minimum point, the average variable cost goes on rising, and the increase in average variable cost is more than the fall in the average fixed cost. So that is why the average cost also goes on rising. And here it is the application of the law of variable portion. When a fixed factor is combined with the variable factor, because in the short run it is not possible to change the fixed factor, because we are having two kinds of factors, fixed factor which could not be changed. When we have to increase the production, we have to increase the quantity of the variable factor. Initially when we increase the variable factor, the fixed factor is used efficiently. That is why the average cost falls. But after a point, increasing use of fixed factor leads to fall in the ratio as compared to the fixed factors, and that is why cost goes on increasing. And U-shape average cost is also in accordance with the return to the factor. The average cost curve tend to decline due to the increasing return, because when we initially increase the variable factor, there is a optimum utilization of the fixed factor, due to which we are having lesser cost. and the more output. Due to the constant run, it stabilizes, it reaches a minimum point, and then due to the diminishing return, it goes on increasing. Marginal cost was the increase in the. Now we are going to understand what is marginal cost. We have understood the concept of the total cost, total fixed cost, total variable cost, average fixed cost, and average variable cost. Now we are going to understand the concept of the marginal cost. Marginal cost is the cost of producing additional units. Marginal cost is the increase in total cost when output is increased by 1 unit. Like we are producing 10 units, the cost is 150. When one additional unit is produced, then the total cost goes to 170. So the marginal cost is equal to 170 minus 150, that is 20 rupees. So when we have produced one additional unit, the cost of producing that additional unit is 20. Marginal cost may be defined as the additional cost of producing one more unit of output, and we could express in this equation: marginal cost is equal to the change in total cost divided by the change in output, and which is equal to the change in fixed cost divided by the change in output plus the change in variable cost divided by the change in output, and this is 0. And so the marginal cost is equal to the change in variable cost divided by the change in output. And we could also calculate the marginal cost in this manner: total cost of producing of n unit minus total cost of n minus 1 unit. Again, we are going to understand the marginal cost. Like this is the output and this is the total cost. How we are going to calculate the marginal cost? For the second unit, 28 minus 20, 34 minus 28, 38 minus 34, 42 minus 38, 48 minus 42, 56 minus 48, 72 minus 56. Initially, marginal cost goes on decreasing, then it reaches to the minimum point, like here, in this manner. It reaches to the minimum, then it starts rising. It also has U shape. So why marginal cost curve is U-shaped? Initially, when production is increased, total cost and variable cost increase at a diminishing rate because of the operation of increasing return to factor. As a result, cost of every additional unit is less than the earlier unit. After a given level of output, rate of increase total cost is minimum. Marginal cost reaches the minimum point, and due to the operation law of diminishing return, cost of additional unit goes on increasing, that is more than the previous unit. Initially it falls, then it reaches to the minimum point, then it starts rising. It also has a U shape. Here we are going to measure the relationship between the various costs. So this is the average cost and this is the average variable cost, and in this, the distance between, I will draw again. So this is the average cost and this is the average variable cost, and this is the average fixed cost, and this is the marginal cost. It cuts the minimum point of the average variable cost. It also cuts the minimum point of the average cost. Geometrically, average cost is obtained by adding average fixed cost and average variable cost. At each level of output, average cost lies above the average variable cost at a distance equal to the corresponding height of the average fixed cost. AC tends to closer to AVC, but it never touches the leader. The minimum point on average cost is reached for a larger output than the minimum point of the average variable cost. Shape of average cost curve is U-shaped. Average variable cost declines, reaches at the minimum. It has U shape but not as pronounced as AC. When average variable cost is minimum, then the marginal cost is equal to the average variable cost. The distance between the average cost and average variable cost becomes the narrow, shorten average cost curve. It first decline, then reaches the minimum point, then it gradually rise. A marginal cost is also U-shaped. It cuts both AC and average variable cost at the minimum point. When they're declining, it lies below average cost and average variable cost. When average cost and average variable cost are rising, it lies above the average cost and average variable cost. Thanks for watching. Look for the other videos on the relation between the average cost and marginal cost and the long run total cost.